Hey y'all, welcome back. It is Mind Your Money Monday, and we're here in our community, Pearls and Purpose. Told you guys I'll be a little late sometimes coming in on Monday, not normally at my 8 o'clock time. I got accepted into the Turner School of Construction Management, which kicked off today, and so for the next 8 Mondays, I'll be tied up in school. But that did not say that we wouldn't be together. So we're here again this week talking about cleaning out what we carry, you guys, those money zones. So let me know if you guys are here, excited about being here. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. That seems like that is just a little bit too high. So I'm back. All right, now I can see. Now I can see. Good evening, lovely. Good evening. I hope you're excited about tonight. We're going to be discussing how to get our portable money zones organized. And what am I talking about when I say our portable money zones? Talking about our purses, our totes, our briefcase, our wallets. If you're a gentleman watching this on a replay, you'll know what we're talking about, those portable money zones. There's a specific Zen proverb, you guys, that says, the way a man does one thing is how he does everything. And so sometimes it can be the simplest thing that is causing us to be stuck in a different area. And so we've been focusing on our Mondays on the area of money. So we did a little bit of work before the work. We went back last week and we talked about some things from our past, some of the things that we do presently and how we can move forward. And so we're in this moving forward journey and we're talking about how to get those portable money zones cleaned out and organized. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Let me know, put ready in here so I know that you guys are here. Thanks for joining me for another week. So let's talk about what's the first thing we should do whenever we want to organize our purse, our wallet, our backpack. If you're anything like me, I tend to carry a larger handbag. So if you like a large handbag, you know that that handbag tends to tug and tote so many things. This weekend, we celebrated one of my nieces' birthday, and I'm driving around today. I open up my handbag, and I still see the pull-up for my granddaughter in there because the handbag is so big. It has multiple different pockets. So before you know it, that portable bag, that big old handbag tends to load so many things. One thing, my husband will not touch my handbag. If I say, "Oh, babe, it's in the purse," just go ahead and open it up. He's over there shaking his head now like, I'm not going to do it. So that portable handbag, the larger the bag, the more junk we house. Yes, I see what you mean. Everything is in there. Everything seems to be in there. So I want to talk about what we can do to start organizing that so we can get to the things that most importantly. And a lot of times our handbag is really just to carry our money, our ID, our debit card, our credit card, a checkbook if you still hold a checkbook, if you have your business cards. So we really don't need this 20-pound bag to lug over. And then over time, our shoulders begin to hurt. And then we have everything but the kitchen sink inside of that handbag. So I want you guys to do when it's time to begin this journey, I want you to pull out a timer for about 10 minutes. And I want you to just go into that handbag. I want you to just start pulling things out. Just pull it out. Empty it out. Empty it out for about 10 minutes. And what you're going to find in there, I'm pretty sure you're going to find something that don't even belong in there, like a pull-up. I don't have any babies anymore, but I got a pull-up in my handbag. You'll probably find some old gum. You'll find some receipts. You'll find old bill papers, whatever it is. I want you to start to pull all those things out in a 10-minute segment. Just empty the handbag before we start to put things back. Once we get it emptied, now I want you to begin to sort those things out. So if you have a bunch of bills, I want all the bills to go in one pile. If you have receipts, I want all the receipts to go in a pile. If you have a bunch of makeup, that's another problem with a large handbag. You'll start with one tube of lipstick, you'll have 2 tubes of lipstick, and before you know it, you got your whole entire makeup bag inside this large bag. So if you're one of those individuals that house all of your makeup in there. Now is the perfect time to start putting that in a pile. And I did that about 2 hours and found some of those, some of those same things you'll find in there, Johanna. Just stuff that you just really don't need. You only need 1 tube of lipstick. If you've got your powder for touch-ups on your face during the day, all you really need is 1 powder. You don't need the foundation, the concealer, the powder, the primer. You don't need all of those things inside the bag. So once we have those things eliminated into certain piles, we can start to go and start to organize those things. We can put back all the lipsticks. We can put back all the skincare. We can pay the bills, or we can shred the bills if those bills have already been paid. If you have your receipts, most of us in this community are business owners. So a lot of times we track our receipts. And if you're not tracking your receipt, that's something I would suggest that you do. If you're using a software, I use QuickBooks to house all my receipts because it's based on one specific debit card that I use for business transactions. So I put the receipt scan as soon as it's done. I scan the receipt, ball it up, trash it, because if I don't trash it, it ends up in my purse. 4 months from now, I'll be looking at, first of all, I'm not going to be able to read the receipt because it's been rubbing around in my purse. I can't see anything. So to make it easier for the end of the year or for my CPA, go ahead and scan those receipts now. If it's the bills, let's get those bills paid. I remember last week we talked about some of us are really good bill paying. When it comes to bill paying time, we pay our bills on time. We don't like the excess late fees that's associated with it. But if you take those bills from the mailbox and you just stick them in your purse and they end up in no man's land, you miss the due date if you're not paying those automatically, electronically every month. Or if it's those receipts that you're trying to track, they become distorted from being housed in your purse. So I mentioned QuickBooks as one of my preferred software that I use to scan all of my my business receipts. Now, for my regular receipts that I can go, I might go to my local dollar store, I might go to the grocery store. I still snap those receipts, you guys, and I'm gonna post a link in here. If you're not using Fetch Rewards, I'm gonna send a link. I scan all my receipts on Fetch because I get points for every purchase. And I use those points. I turn my points in on a monthly basis. I can get me my free Amazon card, but it has all kind of retailers on there, your preferred retailers. So those receipts still don't go to waste, but they're no longer in my purse. So I don't have to fight through the junk to get to the receipt, house the receipt, and I'm not going to do anything with the receipt because I don't plan on returning groceries. I don't plan on returning anything that I picked up from the dollar store. So those items I plan to keep, but I don't need to keep the receipt, but I want to be able to get my rewards as well. I don't care if it takes me a while to get up to that certain amount, but I've spent my money. If I can get any type of reward back, anything from that, and I'm telling you, it's all kind of rewards, you guys. You guys are gonna love it. I'll put that in the comments when the video is over. So we talked about taking that 10-minute timer, number one. Then we want to organize that within categories so we can start to put those items in the right place, store those items, those receipts, pay those bills on time, whatever it is. Then the unnecessary items that do not and should not go back into a purse. Let me just give you an example. A stapler doesn't belong in the purse. An umbrella does not belong in the purse. If you have a vehicle, that is something that can be kept in your trunk or in the back seat pocket of the driver's seat so you can have it on rainy days. Or if you're like me and you like to check your weather apps every other day to see if there's any chance of rain on whether I need to carry that item with me, that's when I'll take it with me. But my purse now needs to store my money items or the things that I actually need to carry for the day. I do have a smaller handbag that I like to use from time to time, but my everyday bag it's got to be at least a 12 by 12. I think that's the size that I'm carrying now. Much harder handbag, not the soft handbag that's just flopping everywhere. I like for my bag now to sit firmly on on a desktop or a tabletop, like a briefcase now is what I prefer to carry in handbags. So that's what I want you guys to start to look at in that money zone, the things that's actually going to go back. We only need one cosmetic item of choice. We don't need any old bills. We don't need any of our old receipts in there any longer. Let's talk about how we deal with our money and our credit cards in our portable money zones, you guys. We're talking about that handbag, that backpack, the tote, the laptop bag, whatever it is that you carry those items in. When it comes to your money, you guys, remember I mentioned the Zen proverb, how you do one thing is how you do all things. I'm just kind of paraphrasing that now. I learned from a money management guru years ago on when it comes to honoring my money, you guys. And I'm not going to get all spiritual with you guys on the love of money and all that. I'm talking about how we manage and how we store that money in our wallets. They taught me that to take all our bills and make sure the bills are open and aligned by increments. So if it's all dollars, fives, tens, 20s, whatever it is, hundreds, whatever it is that you carry, if you carry cash, to unfold the money and put them in the increment amount. So you know when you go into it, you know if I got 4 5s, if I only have a 1 and a 10, whatever it might be, it's easy for you to go into that wallet now and pull out the bill that you want. But it also tells your money, hey, I respect it enough to handle it well. Okay, it's something simple. Sometimes we can, and you can find it with your kids. They do it a lot. You'll give them money, and they'll have it all balled up. They throw it over there. They got them in their pants pockets. They got it underneath the pillow. They got it everywhere. They don't honor the money because they don't really know yet what the value is. But us as mature adults, we know the value behind our dollar bills. And so we can treat it accordingly, you guys. So just think, look at your wallet, open up your wallet and see that if you have any money in there, how you have that money. Is it balled up like you don't value it? Or is it neat, nice, organized? So when you need to go in it, you know where that money is. You don't have to fight and dig to the bottom of that purse, through the receipts, through the makeup, through the bills. You know exactly where the money is because you value it. You're learning how to store it. You're learning how to manage it, you guys. God wants to give us an abundance of a thing, but he looks at how we treat things, whether it's our home, whether it's our money, whether it's our relationship. We have to value it at some level. So I want you guys to think about how you're handling your money inside of your handbag or your wallet. The second thing on that point, when it comes to money and credit cards, is our credit cards. Are you carrying around your debt daily? Is your debt an anchor daily? Are you reminding yourself of your debt load daily? I know of some individuals that have 10 plus credit cards. They're not going to use 10 plus credit cards on a daily basis. A lot of times they don't even use one, but they have all of them housed in their wallet daily. You only need one, you guys. If it's one for business that you use specifically for that, if there's one for a personal, you have that one. And if you have your debit card along with your identification card, have that in there as well. If you have multiple retail cards, you're not going to those retail centers daily. If you plan on going to one, take that one card, store the rest of that stuff at home. Because what you're also telling yourself subliminally, those impulse buys. Sometimes you're out in an area and you open up your wallet and you see it. You had no intention to go buy a shirt, to go buy shoes, to go buy a handbag, but because you had that retail card on hand, you felt like, okay, here's how I'm feeling. A lot of us women, we impulse buy on mood. So if we're having a down day, we find a way to shop. A lot of us, we've used retail therapy as a way to not deal with the issues at hand. So keep that in mind, you guys. When it comes to your money, we want to value it. We want to straighten it out. We want to have a place for it. But also with those credit cards, Let's start to we're going to talk about credit cards later on in another one of our series videos. But as far as what you're carrying with you in that portable money zone, you don't need all 10 credit cards that you possibly have. I only own one, you guys. Me and my husband, we only own one, and we own our debit card, and we have our business debit card as well, that we use. So we don't have 50 million cards because in my wallet, I used to have everything, you guys. I had my debit cards. We have multiple banks, so I have multiple debit cards, but I also have my library card, had my ID card, I had my rewards card, I had all of these things. And there came a time when I needed to pull out my ID, but I had to go through 25, 30 cards. And that's frustrating if you're standing in line, the people behind you, if you're with your spouse, they're like, man, what's taking you so long? So think about what you're carrying, you guys, in that wallet. So we talked about spending a little bit of time going through, decluttering, putting it in piles, eliminating the piles, paying the bills, how we setting up our wallets with our money, as well as our credit card. Let me see. We talked about the tote bag. Some people still carry a laptop bag. I mean, my purse is so big it can carry my iPad. I'm trying to think if we can. No, it won't. This one doesn't hold my laptop. But what I like to have is a USB drive on hand. A lot of times, well, now we have it where we can store it in the cloud. We can put it on our drives. We can do that. But sometimes we're in a place that we need to get some backup information. That's one of the things I would say for you to have on a drive. Some of your financial records you can put on a drive that you have handled. You might not want to carry that information in your purse. But while I'm thinking about a laptop bag and some of the things that when we're talking about our finances that you might want to keep on hand is a flash drive. Yeah. Thanks for sharing these tips. So now it's time to stick with it. You know what, Johanna? One thing about training, one thing about inspiration, one thing about motivation, whether it's a sermon, whatever it is, if we don't act on it, it would have just been feel good information. So anything that we share amongst each other, whether we're listening on YouTube, whether we're watching this on a social media platform, whether we're listening from a podcast, begin to activate some of the information that you're being inundated with daily. Because before you know it, it just gathers dust, and you find yourself 10 years later and it's like, you know what, this information sounds familiar. But guess what? You didn't implement it the first time around. So now is the time to stick to it. I think that's about it that I wanted to talk about when it came to organizing those portable money zones. Just take a few minutes, do the big dump, organize in a pile, straighten out that cash, eliminate those cards. Again, we'll be dealing with debt elimination a little bit later on and some techniques when it comes to that. But let's stop carrying the load with us now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Just leave it in a comment, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next video. Bye now.